When a butterfly crosses your path, what really happens? Is it chance, or is it the unconscious whispering through color and motion? We tell ourselves it's just a creature fluttering by. But deep down, something stirs. A strange recognition, a magnetic pull that feels almost personal. Why do our eyes follow one butterfly among hundreds? Why does its color seem to echo something unsaid inside us? Carl Jung believed that the psyche speaks in symbols, not words, not logic, but living images. Every choice we make, even one as small as picking a butterfly, is a response to those symbols. It's your inner self reaching through instinct to say, "This is me. This is what I'm becoming." So, in the next few minutes, you'll see 3 butterflies. Each carries its own frequency, its own emotion, its own message. Don't analyze. Don't try to be clever. Just feel. Whichever butterfly calls to you, that one reveals the state of your soul. Today, the story your conscious mind hasn't yet put into words. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. Let the noise of your mind quiet down until all that remains is intuition, that subtle knowing that needs no reason. Now, open your inner vision. Let the butterflies appear before you. Each one is a mirror. Each one holds a secret meant only for you. Butterfly 1, the emerald visionary. It glows with shades of green and silver, wings shimmering like forest dew touched by moonlight. There is something ancient about its calm, a sense of growth, of renewal, of life, quietly breathing beneath the surface. If this butterfly caught your attention first, Jung would say your soul resonates with growth through perception. You are the visionary, the one who sees potential where others see limitation. Green, the color of nature's pulse, speaks of expansion and healing. Silver, reflective yet mysterious, belongs to the intuitive mind that perceives patterns beyond logic. You are someone who does not rush. You observe. You connect invisible threads. To you, time is not an enemy, it's a collaborator. Or maybe life itself is offering you a chance to heal what was left unfinished. Silver in its wings reminds you that reflection is sacred. It is time to look inward and recognize how far you've come, not in achievements, but in awareness. If you chose this butterfly, it's because a part of you already knows. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to keep evolving, even when no one notices. Its wings are a storm of red, copper, and deep bronze like embers refusing to die. It doesn't glide. It moves with intent, cutting through the air as if the wind itself were its ally. If you felt drawn to this butterfly, you are a seeker of experience, someone whose soul evolves through motion, risk, and passion. Jung might say you are guided by the archetype of the wanderer or the alchemist, one who transforms by living fully, not cautiously. Red is vitality, life force, courage, instinct. Copper is endurance, the metal that carries both warmth and resilience. Together, they form the language of adventure and transformation. You are not afraid of change. Even if it terrifies you, you've learned, or are learning, that comfort is not safety. That sometimes peace must be sacrificed for truth. You'd rather fail in authenticity than succeed in imitation. Those drawn to this butterfly often carry an inner fire that others misunderstand. To some, you seem restless. To others, unpredictable. But inside, there is clarity. The quiet knowing that stagnation feels like death. To you, you're still sitting in that quiet room. The three butterflies remain before you motionless, almost statues carved from living light. But something has changed. The hum in the air grows softer. The light bends slightly. Your heartbeat steadies, syncing with a rhythm older than thought itself. Jung would have called this the moment of projection collapse, when what you see outside begins to mirror what is hidden inside. Take a breath. We're going deeper now. Butterfly eye. The hegemonic blue and silver, it glows like a storm on calm water blue that holds both sorrow and peace. The monarch represents the mind in transition. People who are drawn to it often live between two worlds. The inner one that dreams, and the outer one that demands. You'll think in spirals, not lines. You observe before you act. But your greatest gift and sight can also become your heaviest chain. You see meaning in everything, but sometimes forget to live inside it. The monarch whispers, it's not your job to fix what you understand. It's your task to live what you see. If you chose this butterfly, your psyche is entering what Jung called the individuation psychopath, where intellect learns to serve intuition. You're not just decoding life anymore, you're starting to embody it. Watch how your creativity has been shifting lately. You've moved from analysis to artistry, from explanation to expression. That's the monarch's current. Follow it, and your voice will stop echoing others. You will finally sound like yourself. Butterfly 2, the crimson shadow, red and black. The air hums when you look at it. Its wings are alive with tension, the red of passion, the black of power withheld. Jung might have smiled here. This is the shadow as flame, the butterfly of unspoken truths and unclaimed desires. Those drawn to the crimson shadow are usually mirrors for others. You carry emotional gravity. People confess to you, admire you, even fear you, because your presence reveals what they hide from themselves. But here's the secret the crimson carries. It doesn't represent darkness, it represents containment. The energy you suppress doesn't vanish. It ferments, growing sharper, more creative, more dangerous. When released consciously, it fuels transformation. When buried, it burns you quietly. If you felt its pull, your subconscious is urging balance. Being asked to reclaim your instinct without guilt, to own your fire rather than disguise it as patience. Your next stage is courage, not loud, heroic courage, but quiet alignment between what you feel and what you act upon. When that happens, your relationships shift dramatically. Some will leave, yes, but those who stay will meet the real you, and that changes everything. Butterfly 3, the golden veil, gold and white. It glimmers like morning sunlight filtered through mist radiant, yet unreachable. The golden veil symbolizes the soul remembered, the part of you that has outgrown constant striving. If this was your choice, you've likely walked through chaos and come out calm. There's a strange peace in you now, one that confuses others. They see it as detachment, but it's really the stillness after integration. You've stopped needing life to prove your worth. You're simply here, clear, receptive, quietly luminous. But even serenity has its challenge. The veil warns against floating too far from the ground. The danger of spiritual clarity is subtle pride, the belief that you're done learning. Yet life, ever paradoxical, teaches most gently after we think we've finished learning. If you chose this butterfly, your psyche is whispering. Return to the body. Feel your breath. Cook, walk, make, touch. Let divinity wear skin again. You've transcended once. Now you must descend consciously. That's how wisdom becomes humanity. The room fades back into quiet hum. The butterflies dissolve into light, their colors blending in the air like a final chord fading into silence. You sit alone, but not really. Something within you feels rearranged. This isn't a quiz. It's a mirror of integration, the place where your intellect, desire, and essence stop fighting and start conversing. Carl Jung once wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." You've just done that through color, through symbol, through your own reflection. It lingers after the butterflies fade us. If the air itself is catching its breath, then, almost imperceptibly, the world begins to hum again. You're still in that vast, quiet space, but now something has shifted. The stillness doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels alive. Carl Jung called this the moment of return. The symbols dissolve, and what remains is not fantasy, but understanding. You've crossed from image to insight, from projection to possession. What you saw wasn't just butterflies. You saw yourself fragmented, then reflected. Now the mirror opens. Imagine standing before a mirror that doesn't show your face, but you're becoming. The azure monarch's calm mind, the crimson shadows reclaimed fire, and the golden veil's transcendent grace. They're not choices anymore. They are layers of you. The mind that questions, the heart that burns, the soul that knows. Each one necessary, each one incomplete without the others. That's the truth behind every Jungian testa. Integration of opposites, conscious and unconscious, logic and emotion, light and dark. The goal was never to choose, but to see through the illusion of separation. You are not your preference. You are the field where all preferences meet. The descent, returning to the real. There's a gentle paradox here. Every spiritual ascent ends with a descent. Jung knew this intimately. After illumination comes incarnation. You've touched symbol and archetype, but now the test is life itself. Watch how you move tomorrow. The mind will chatter as always, but something in you will listen differently. The world will look the same, but the edges of things will feel softer. When you speak, your words will come from a deeper place, not from needing to be understood, but from understanding. This is what it means to be psychologically awake, not floating above the world, but within it anchored, aware, deliberate. If you chose the monarch, you'll start turning insight into creation. If you chose the crimson, you'll notice where honesty liberates you. If you chose the golden, you'll feel the pull to rejoin the living rhythm of the ordinary. Transformation doesn't roar, it whispers, and then it stays. The integration, shadow becomes light. There's a concept Jung often returned to in Asyadromath. Reversal at the extremes. When you push too far into light, darkness balances you. When you sink into shadow, light finds its way in. You can't escape the opposites, but you can learn to dance with them. That's what the butterflies represented all along. The wings opposing forces moving in harmony generate flight. Maybe that's why the ancients saw the butterfly as a soul in motion. The Greeks called it psyche, which meant both soul and breath. To live consciously is to let your psyche breathe, to give every part of you a voice, not just the polished parts. When the suppressed, the sacred, and the silent begin to speak to each other, that's when you evolve. That's when your life stops feeling random and starts feeling orchestrated. The awakening, seeing through the self. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the three butterflies returning, not in front of you this time, but within you. The monarch in your mind, cooling the storms of thought. The crimson in your chest, reigniting purpose without rage. The golden settling in your core, radiating quiet clarity. They're not guides anymore. They're organs of your inner ecosystem. Together, they beat us one rhythm, your psyche in harmony. Jung believed every symbol we meet, in dreams or imagination, is a fragment of the self trying to return home. What you just experienced wasn't a fantasy, it was your subconscious speaking in its first language. Image, color, motion. Now, it's your task to respond in kind, not with analysis, but with embodiment. Live what you learned. Speak the truth you've reclaimed. Feel without defense. Create without apology. Love without precondition. That's how the test ends. By becoming your everyday practice. The final realization, you were never broken. The hum of the room fades into stillness again. The butterflies are gone. The mirror has dimmed. But something in you remains luminous. The point of this journey was never to fix you. It was to remind you that you were never broken. The cracks were simply light trying to find its way out. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." You've begun that privilege. Quietly, beautifully, without fireworks, but with the steady unfolding of wings. And now, the final whisper. You are not the butterfly. You are the air that carries it. And when the light finally fades, you realize the butterflies were never leaving you. They were becoming you. You've walked through mind, through shadow, through soul. You've seen how chaos births clarity, how the cracks were never your weakness, but your windows. So when the world grows loud again, remember this moment. This wasn't here to tell you who you are. It was here to remind you to listen, because the voice you've been waiting for was always your own. You are not chasing transformation. You are the transformation. The psyche is not in you. You are in the psyche. CG